the Lashing Out podcast.
I'm Paige.
I'm Abby.
And this is our first episode. Today we wanted to get into, if you're in school, what do you do after? Do you start a business? Do you work at a franchise? We want to give you the raw, the real, the pros and cons, okay?
Yes, because it's intimidating getting started, so we just want to help you out, guide you a little bit, share our personal experiences.
Yep.
So
do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, so I can start. So getting out of school, personally, I had taken my lash course. I think I had taken it like a month before I graduated, and I was just I was trying to figure out what my best bet was. So I decided to set aside an extra spare room at my parents' house. I was living there at the time, and I was like, I'm just going to practice on family, friends. I ordered a portable bed that you could fold up, and I put it in that room. I even would go to some people's houses because it was a portable one, so I would pack it with me and take it with me anywhere I needed
just the
to.
Grind
yes.
To start.
So I started there. I have 3 sisters and my mom and 6 aunts, so that was a good start for me. Yeah, I was like, please help me, guys.
Let me do your guys' lashes.
Yes, I need help. So yeah, that's where I got started, and yeah, just family, friends. I wasn't comfortable taking actual clients yet, just because I was like, I want to get comfortable with it. I want to make sure my timing gets down better and everything. Mm-hmm. How about you?
We both have such different experiences, which is really nice. So you guys will get to see the whole thing. I moved here, so I didn't know anyone. So I started my business in school. I was in my grandma's basement.
Mm-hmm.
I had my little setup, my little portable bed as well. And I was trying to get everyone from school, really just starting with anyone and everyone. I was doing my grandma's lashes, just being really, really repetitive and intentional with that. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting, we're going to talk about it even more, but hairstylist, or I had one bartender, which brought me all the bartenders. Any type of job that sees a lot of people, that'll get you clients real quick.
Oh yeah, because even if it's just one person, if you have one good client that will spread the word for you, mm-hmm. It's so good.
And especially here in North Carolina, one, there's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
But 2, word of mouth is insane here. North Carolina people, they are loyal. I will say that if you do a good job and you're really good with your clients, they're gonna stick with you and they're gonna share everybody and their mama.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just have to just practice in the beginning, and it takes longer for sure, but that's why you need to get people that are understanding and that will give you the time of day. I remember when I got started, I think the first 3 or 4 sets I just did for free because I was just trying to get good. I was trying to, be comfortable with it. Yeah, if you're not comfortable with it. But I think, don't do that for too long because you are purchasing your own supplies. You get your starter kit, but that doesn't last you too long.
Well, and just point blank period, when you're starting out, these sets aren't easy.
No.
They're very time consuming. You might start out as a 3-hour set, a 3.5-hour set. If that's, whatever your pace is, that's a lot of time and concentration you're putting in. I always tell all my students, start out $100 for your full sets. If once you're starting to get comfortable, do 1 or 2 people, start charging. Friends and family, it's just a lot of work.
It is, and you can't sell yourself short. You have to, because if you don't start in the beginning, you're gonna always just be afraid to raise your prices. You're gonna be scared, and that's not a good way to start out your business at all.
Well, and when you when you start at $100 and you go up a little bit more, it's not going to be dramatic. Well, if you start with 3 sets and you're like, okay, well now I'm good at this. I'm charging $150.
Yeah.
Or even, $50 or, $50 sets, and you
jump to $100,
double the price. It's not as appealing to people. So if you start, know your worth.
Yes.
This is not easy.
Yes.
Start there.
And even if you are working on family and friends, or a lot of family, which I did, don't be afraid to charge them either, because the people that
Very
are
valid.
your family, your friends, they should be the ones that should support you the most. Like if they truly want to see your business grow, they will pay what you are charging. So don't be afraid to do that. It's your livelihood. You're purchasing the product. So
That is such a good tip because
yes.
that's really hard. Even with your friends, this, that, and the third, they're your real friend and they're your, they should be paid. Yeah. And it's the time and effort you're putting into that
Right.
to perfect your craft.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And speaking of the time, it is going to take a while in the beginning. Like, don't be, don't give up. Don't think, oh, it's never going to get better. It will. It's just you have to give yourself that time. You have to allow yourself to really focus on the quality that you're putting into it instead of feeling like you have to
Rush.
because if you don't get the quality and the actual each step right, like isolating and placing application, then you will not get really good at it because you're just too focused on trying to speed up.
Right. I also want to talk and touch on if you don't just off rip start your business.
Yes.
If you go we want to really talk about like pros and cons of working elsewhere.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's just lashes, if it's massage envy, facials, any of that, the pros and cons.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say one of the pros is, especially if you don't know people, that could be a very good way to build your clientele up. A lot of those places will have you sign contracts saying, if you leave, you can't tell your clients this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to y'all, but if your clients love and adore you, they'll follow you.
They'll follow you. They'll follow
so,
you.
Yeah, it does not matter. I mean, y'all can sign the paper, do this, that, and third.
Yeah.
Your clients will find a way. And y'all will find a way.
Oh, for sure. Because in the beginning, like if you don't have a clientele yet, sometimes that can be the best step depending on where you're at. Just to go somewhere that it might be commission based. They might be they'll be taking part of what you make, but they will be bringing people in.
It might be less intimidating.
It might be less intimidating than starting from the very beginning. Like, I'm going to purchase everything, whereas somewhere like that, they'll purchase your supplies and everything.
And they also give you lots of trainings and stuff like that, especially if you're wanting to get more into skincare, massage with the face, everything.
Yes.
Those, even lashes. Like, I know the lash places will teach you more in-depth trainings, and that's you not having to pay.
Yeah.
Someone privately for that. You can get your job there, and that's already included within the job.
Yeah.
I would say the cons for that is definitely the commission is usually what is the least attractive for me.
Yes, because sometimes it can be 50, sometimes it can be more than 50%. So that is the only thing. Because of how much work you're putting into the lashes, sometimes you're like, ooh, not getting that full, amount can be a little bit, discouraging in the beginning for sure. Because like when I moved out of my parents' house, I went to a kind of a salon spa place. So they did hair, they did facials. And at that time I was still doing facials, waxing, everything too. But I had started doing lashes. So I started doing lashes at that place. And, it was great in the beginning, but they also control your hours and everything. Yep. So I didn't get to work as many hours as I would have liked. And when you're starting out, like you really have to do it almost every day to really get good. So that was the only thing. I wasn't able to really, on my own time kind of practice as I wanted to. But you also have the option to do something like that and then practice at home as well.
Right. Yeah. So if you're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, trying to do that, that's great.
Yeah.
I just fully went into it just because that's what I was doing in school. If you're going to fully go into it, you got to fully go into it. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
If you're putting your all into it, clients are going to come. Clients are going to come. Clients are going to come. And again, we're going to say it 20,000 billion times. Lashes is all about being repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really is. And like she said, your business grew pretty fast just because of you meeting the right people, and you really put a lot of intention into the work that you did, which could bring us along to like social media and all of that.
I was just about to say that.
Yes.
Social media, you guys, is so key, especially now TikToks, Reels. I don't care if you don't know how to do it. You got to do it.
You have to.
If you, and they need to see your face. I was posting every single day, every client. It does not matter. And I want to say this, if you think no one's watching, I promise you at least one person is watching.
And sometimes it only takes one person because they may know a lot of people and everything. And in my personal experience, like I will say social media is so important. Now it did not come naturally for me. Like I had to really work hard at it because, some of us, we don't like to put ourselves out there as much. Like it can be difficult. It can seem like a lot of extra work in the moment, but it really is. It's so important.
It's crucial.
It's crucial. Take pictures of your work. Even if in the beginning you feel like it doesn't look good, take pictures because then as you progress, you will look back and you're like, oh my gosh, look how much I've improved. Like, oh my God, can you like.
And even if you don't think it looks good, it might not look good to you, but it might be someone's style. It might be what someone else likes. Exactly. I do that to this day.
Yes.
I will have pictures where I'm like, this lash is just a little bit tilted to the right. Or I don't really love this wispy set. And those are the posts that gets the most engagement.
Oh, yeah.
And I also told Abby just the other day, she's more of a I'm an open book, y'all. Yes. Y'all know this. But Abby's more private.
Yeah.
And you can still be very much a private person, but show your personality and through your business on social media.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I've been doing lashes for like close to 5 years now, and it's still hard sometimes. Like it's not easy. I have to, motivate myself, tell myself, okay, post this because like she said, someone's watching and you want your account to stay active. You don't want people to think you're just disappeared.
No, literally, like I cannot stress this enough. Please, if you're in school, start posting everything. Like people want to see it. People are going to see it.
Yeah.
And another super big tip that we will always say, use hashtags.
Yes.
I mean, every hashtag, baby. I mean, Raleigh, every area you're close to.
Every surrounding
trending hashtags, whether that's golf, whether that's a marathon, hashtag it.
Yep.
Hashtag everything. It'll show up. You'll get more engagement. I ask all my new clients all the time, how do you find me? I always ask that. How'd you find me? I would say 9 out of 10, they're always going to say hashtags.
Yeah.
Especially on Instagram.
Oh
100%.
Yeah. Because like it just elevates those posts so much more. Just because if you weren't putting that, then people, only your followers are going to see that post. But if you put hashtags, other people can come across your post and then they'll be like, oh, let me follow this page or reach out to get your lashes done. So there's that, so important. So important.
Another thing is just like staying on top of trends, whether that's like, especially with social media, which I know that's really hard to do nowadays because I mean, everywhere you look, it's a new app, it's a new update, it's a new this, but it is so, I mean, I've gotten a viral TikTok, then a viral reel, and it will bring so much, and it's just the algorithm can be weird, it can be hard, but please, like, just commit to your social media, and you will see a rise in people, your work, everything, all that good stuff. Incentives when you're in the beginning. I mean, don't, like, again, we don't want you to sell yourself short.
No.
But referral codes, loyalty cards.
Yeah, one thing I did was like little referral cards where I would be like, tell my clients that I had gotten, refer a friend and you'll both receive 10% off or 15%. But you don't want to do too much where you're, like you said, you're losing money, but you're gaining someone else as well. So if you're getting that little percentage off that one client, at least you're getting another client with that. So that's a really good one. And just, like you said, incentives. I posted a lot on like local Facebook groups too. And that helped me gain a lot of people too. There's a lot of like ladies groups on Facebook. So I would do that. And
no, that's so big.
Yes.
I wasn't I'm not very great at Facebook, but I totally those groups with people in it, if people are hey, asking who,
Yes.
tag yourself,
Oh my
boom,
gosh, yes.
clients like
And
that.
then when you get some like returning clients, have them, advertise for you. Like if they're getting their lashes done with you, then they'll start to post, especially if they love your work and everything. They'll be
Stories,
yes.
all of that good stuff. I
Oh
mean,
my
even do incentives for those if you want.
oh
Stories,
yeah.
reviews, things like that. Just really, I think another super big thing that will, separate you from everyone else is your personality, your
Yeah.
professionalism. Those are very two big things
Yeah.
I really go hard for. I mean, I probably have people who like my personality. Of course, they like my work, but I do have a lot of people that are just like, "That's my girl." I just had a client say, she probably doesn't even want extensions anymore, but she loves our appointment time. People will stay with you. They will book
Yeah.
with you if they like who you are. So that's so important
Exactly.
to be genuine, understanding,
Yes.
stand on business, but to be all those things.
Oh yeah, I mean I completely agree with that. I feel like sometimes it can be intimidating because there's so many other people in the industry, and you're like, oh my gosh, like what's going to set me apart? But like she said, just being that person, getting on a personal level, being just a
Yes.
friend, like being to your clients, they are going to remember that. They're going to remember how you took care of them. They're going to remember just your professionalism and everything.
Yeah. High
Yes.
key on the professionalism.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Like, just like you don't want, your clients being late, you not being, 15 minutes late, 10 minutes late, canceling the last
Oh,
minute
yeah.
for whatever
Oh,
reason.
yeah. And
Um,
also keeping a clean space, a
yeah,
clean
huge
environment.
on that.
So, so important because people notice things like they're going to look around, they're going to see stuff. So, just making sure, it's a good environment that you're having people come into, because that's also part of the experience too, is just, a pleasant environment and everything. And they'll keep returning for that, plus the lashes and everything.
Right, right, right.
Another thing is like if you get started somewhere and you've been working there for a bit and you're like, okay, you're thinking maybe you need to relocate or anything, that's a big thing that sometimes it can be intimidating and everything, which you know a whole lot about.
Yes. So, you guys, I've restarted. I came to North Carolina, one, went to Arizona, two,
Yeah.
went to Vegas and Nevada, three, then came back here, four. I've restarted four times.
Yes.
It can be intimidating, but as long as you're putting your all into it, and when that comes to social media, whether that means going to, I mean, when I went to Arizona, I found a hair salon and rented a room out from there. And, the advertising, I didn't know anyone there. Really just those clients, their clients, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Again, finding a hairstylist, a bartender. I would say hairstylists or
Yes.
service providers,
Yep.
bartenders,
Yep.
and people that work in the hospital.
Those are gonna be
That's my
your
love,
best
my
people.
love, and my money, my joy.
Yes.
Okay.
No, for sure. And that was like getting back. I have not moved around as much. Like I kind of stayed put for a bit. Whenever I left the commission space, I went to a hair salon. Actually, my sister's a hairstylist, so she worked there. And that's when I started renting out my own little room, because I had already built up a little clientele. So I was like, okay, I feel comfortable now, like paying this money weekly to rent out the space and then keeping all the profits of everything and buying my own supplies. But yeah, working with hairstylists really benefited me. Like I grew my clientele very quick because of having my sister advertise for me, or doing the other hairstylists in the salon doing their lashes. Like all of their
Yep.
clients would be like, "Oh, what do you have on?"
Yeah.
And that just attracts them to it. So yeah, like even if you can find a hair salon that has this extra room or something that
Yep.
you can work out of, that's always a good option too, because it's already bringing people in. So you still have to advertise, but you're going to also meet a lot of new people through that and
Uh huh.
everything.
And again, like, you have to start somewhere. Again, like for us, we started in an extra room, a spare room.
Yeah.
Continue to elevate yourself. Don't be afraid to start somewhere.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Like don't be afraid, because we all have to start somewhere. Don't let the fear,
Yeah.
block you from succeeding.
Exactly.
You can do it.
Yeah, because I mean, even now, like I just recently relocated to Raleigh. I'd been working out at Fuquay for like 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I even now, like I have my clientele established, but you still have worries of
Yep.
relocating and everything. But sometimes you just have to really look at it and be like, is what can I grow my business like in this one spot, or am I going to be, able to reach more people in another area? And that's kind of where I got to. I was like, with this type of service, I just feel like I could reach more with the type of,
Yep.
stuff
Always
that I
elevating
offer.
yourself.
Yes,
Is there
most definitely.
anything?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that kind of covers a lot of, just starting out as a beginner. Really, find your passion. If it's lashes, focus on
Ooh,
that. If it's
that's so
facials,
good.
that's one big thing we were told in school was just find something that you can do multiple, but find what you're really good at.
Yes, find your niche, please.
Yes.
Please don't be not everyone could be a jack of all trades, y'all.
No, no.
Because if I'm over here trying to do hair waxing, microblading, um facials,
Yeah.
you can't repetitively do something over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-mm.
So again, like our teacher always said that find your niche, find something you're good
Yes.
at. And again, I can't stress this enough. Don't be intimidated with the oversaturation or this or that. Think about how many nail salons there are.
Yes.
Like there is enough clients for everyone.
Yeah.
Find how you're going to separate yourself from everyone else.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if you really like zone in on that one thing and get really good at it, eventually, maybe if you want to be like, oh, I want to add a service, at least you've put all the time and effort into that one service, so you're
Yep.
really, really good at it. And then that's when you can think about, okay, let me add a few other things to what I can offer. But yeah, it's so, so important. It's so important. Just like it was important when we were getting started, like really focusing on isolation, focusing on the importance of the foundation of lashes in the
Yep.
beginning, because if you try to learn too much at one time, it can be a bit
It
overwhelming.
can be overwhelming. And, like we're going to do classes where we teach you everything, but
Yes.
our main focus is always going to be isolation and application, baby.
Yes.
Okay. Like
Yes.
those, you can do every look you want,
Yep.
but if you do not have isolating and application right, then you know
Yeah.
it's going to make your journey a lot harder.
Oh yeah, because you can learn both at a time. It's just you have
Yes,
to have, like you said, that foundation. Because if you can do that, then you can pick up volume and like all the other style
all the
lashes
things.
so
Yeah,
much easier. So, but yeah, I feel like we covered quite a bit today. I feel
yeah.
like we hope we can give you guys just a little bit of advice from us, because
It can be intimidating going into school
yes,
or figuring out what you
yes.
want to do.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh,
that is like the number one question I always get. What do
yeah,
I do after school? Can I do it? You
yeah,
can do it.
you
Put
can,
your all into it. Get on social media.
yeah,
And then if you're working at a franchise, go hard as you can with
yes,
that. And then,
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to start at booth rental,
No.
or that can get very pricey. Again, like us, if we did it kind of, a side or a
Yeah.
room or this or that, build your way up. You got this,
You got
guys.
it. You
We
got
love you
it.
guys.